This issue of Video Fashion Style brings you the heart and soul of covetable footwear. Women are head over heels in love with Christian Louboutin.
He says black soles are for widows, beige soles are for the Milanese, but red soles are for women who still have time to dance.
Brit It-designer Nicholas Kirkwood adds a touch of whimsy to his stilettos.
It's just a very feminine sort of form. It's like a little deer leg or something, so we call it the fawn heel.
Sergio Rossi has intriguing creations in store for well-heeled fans.
I'm always quite dramatic in the way I approach design.
Melissa Shoes pairs great style and green design in a delectable presentation.
Melissa invented the plastic shoes around 40 years ago. We have a team of 100 designers in Brazil that all they do is dream shoes all day long.
Celebrity favorite Brian Atwood pumps up the glamour.
The supermodels of the early 80s, like a Gia, Lisa Taylor, Lauren Hutton, they started creating a very feminine, sexier, glamorous collection.
We take an exclusive tour of the Ferragamo Shoe Museum in Florence, Italy. And much more, so kick up your heels. An exhibit at the museum at FIT explored the themes surrounding the highly coveted shoes of Christian Louboutin.
We wanted to take a look at his history and his designs and where they came from, and what has caused his recent rise to power. A lot of the reason that Louboutin has become so prominent recently has to do not only with the fact that he has very exciting, beautiful designs, but that they've been linked with many eminent Hollywood stars, and they're instantly recognizable because of their red soles. That young women have picked up on those shoes as a symbol of the lifestyle that they're trying to emulate. We decided to focus on 5 themes that have inspired his work throughout his career: historicism and his interaction with artists and designers, gardening and landscape design, exoticism, fetish, and glamour and Hollywood. We felt like were the biggest themes that run through his work. This shoe in the middle, which is from 1996, is a mule that's directly inspired by 18th century women's mules, the kind of things that Marie Antoinette would wear. And one of the greatest shoes in this case is this Clovis sandal from 1996. And his idea was to create a shoe that looked like a woman was walking on a bed of roses. This shoe, with the heel made out of a Guinness can, is one of Louboutin's personal favorites. Some of our most exciting shoes in the exhibit are this pair of cowboy boots lent to us by Miss Dita Von Teese, who's a burlesque artist.
I asked him to make me a little, very feminine, little dainty cowgirl boot with a Swarovski crystal spur on the back. By the time I get on this giant lipstick and start riding it, all I'm wearing is my nipple tassels and my cowgirl boots, so it's, you know, they're showcased very well there.
While we've looked at some shoes that take ideas from fetish shoes, these are real fetish shoes. These are the real thing. He created them in collaboration with the filmmaker David Lynch for an exhibit. They're not shoes for walking. They're really strictly shoes for sex.
It's Louboutin's signature sole that allows him to have the last word on his chic shoes.
He says black soles are for widows, beige soles are for the Milanese, but red soles are for women who still have time to dance.
Well, I wanted to kind of explore a little colour this season and femininity, and looking at femininity and working out how to do it, but not necessarily in like a girly way. And I wanted to use some of the classic elements like roses, like bows, but try to find a different way to maybe sort of use them. Roses, for example, we've made some up in grosgrain, we've done the prints, we've done stamps, we've done laser cut, almost every way I can think of. It's pretty fun, though. bow. Bow was sort of something that I thought I'd never really be doing, but I wanted to do a bow shoe, but not just literally plonk it on. So there's this idea of the kind of shoe, as if you almost pulled it out here and made your own bow, and it's just like floating on the top. So with the vinyl, just to make it look like there's nothing there, but I think it's super cute. And also this carong as well is amazing. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's pink. I know, it's super cute. Well, the colour is something I've learned to embrace, because I haven't done so much in the past. And again, that's another, for me, a very feminine kind of aspect. It's just a very feminine sort of form. Yeah, well, it's actually somebody sort of said, oh, it's just like a little like deer leg or something. So we call it the fawn heel. With a shoe, you might be sometimes a little scared to, put it on. I think you just need to get it on your feet, and then, you'll get the reactions from people. And if it's good reactions or bad reactions, then you know when you're going to wear it. And if it's a good reaction, then it'll hopefully give you kind of confidence to kind of take that further and look at even more shoes.
I'm always quite dramatic in the way I approach design. When you talk about couture, it has been one of the main reasons for this collection. Since the beginning, since I started the winter collection, I wanted to do something that would be evening, but for all day. So it's like this woman come back from a party and she never changed, and she starts all over again the day. So yes, there is this approach which is very couture in the product. It has been the idea of disguisement that has been intrigued me since the beginning, and that's why also evening, because at evening, woman like man is the moment for disguisement. So when we talk about disguisement and mutation and transformation, there are many elements that can take place. So the Commedia dell'arte, the Venetian Carnival, or the real transformation and mutation in the natural world, so for vegetation like flowers, or in an animal world, the butterfly, which for me, it is the symbol of the collection because it is the queen of the mutation. I always like beside the shoes to explain why those shoes are here, what has been, the source of inspiration or the reason. So far till now, it always been my point of view, which I put in place through video, through picture. So for once, it was interesting to me to use the person who is watching at the shoes, at the object, and to know his own point of view. So since I'm a big fan of the work of Shoe Studio, especially the section of the fetish object, so I found intriguing just to send them my 10 iconic model and let them talk and let them tell about them.
Amedeo dell'arte, the first character that springs to mind is the Harlequin, reinterpreting the trademark interlocking diamond pattern in differing textures.
I just can tell you that is the reason why I decided to do shoes, because there is a mutation in the woman. When she wear like an high heel shoes, she immediately changed the way of moving, the way of expressing herself. So there is definitely a mutation, and is that mutation that I like to underline and to instigate each time.
Shoe designer Alejandro Ingelmo took simplicity to new heights at his New York Soho boutique.
For me, this season was really about taking things and looking at them a little bit closer And you know, a lot of the shoes are a little bit simpler, but they're simpler in pattern, but in technique, they're the most difficult. Just one piece of leather, no stitching. I know they're high, but there's always a philosophy behind what I do. You know, on the last, it's always a certain pitch. I never go past that pitch, so if I want to go higher for a more dramatic effect, I play with the platform. But comfort level is always a priority for me, just as strong as design and look. This is one of the silhouettes that I was working on this season, and I really just wanted to work with one piece of leather. And so the idea was here that it would only be one point of stitching. It's like a sock, so there's no breaking point here, and that was really important to me. And in terms of comfort level, it's like wearing a sock. And that's the difference between being able to be on a shoe like this for 1 hour then versus for a longer period of time. Everything for me has always been like, in terms of a dress, it's always very fitted, you know, like a tight dress, and really just working within that constraint. And so for me, this season was really about like thinking outside of it. And you know, what does the collar of a shirt mean in the language of shoes? And so that was the idea, really just thinking outside of the box, creating new lasts that really just take the leather and mold it outside. This was the challenging one that I was like, I sketched it out and I was like, they were like, you can't make it, I'm like, yeah, I'll show you how to make it, let's do it. And it was a process, and so yeah, I'm really proud of it. The wedges was something that I've done before, and I decided to expand on it. There's still the idea of, you know, closure, but still certain points of openness, you know, so it still shows skin. Men's is always, I always think about myself and what I would wear. You know, it was really about working with natural leathers, you know, the pebble grained. I usually just worked with cotton laces, and I decided to work with leather laces to kind of give it more of a dressier type of feel. I have a couple of favorites, but I love them all for different things. Tron, I'm the ones I'm wearing. Yeah, so this is my favorite. It's my baby.
Welcome to our Spring Summer 12 debut in Miami. First time we launched a collection in Miami, so we're very, very excited.
We decided to invite probably 100 people to come to brunch at the W South Beach and have the waiters passing around the new collection.
Melissa invented the plastic shoes around 40 years ago out of Brazil, so we're really the icon in the industry, or a place where a lot of people seek inspiration for that kind of fashion footwear. We have a team of 100 designers in Brazil that all they do is dream shoes all day long. We're very big into platforms, and I know here in Florida it's very popular. So we did this very popular, it's called the patchouli shoe, which has a stripe on the back. So the shoes are bicolor, and we mix and match strong colors with neutrals. We launched 6 new flip-flops this season, and they all come with some sort of new embellishments, which are flowers, big flowers, happy flowers. And we have bows, we have polka dots, so it's very feminine. One thing we do is allow our platform, or plastic shoes, to be used by different designers. In the past, we have collaborated with the likes of Jean-Paul Gaultier, and of course our biggest one being Vivienne Westwood that we launched around 2.5 years ago.
We are launching 2 amazing collaborations with new designers that have never worked with Melissa before. One of them is Gareth Pugh.
Gareth is so innovative with his approach to fashion, how he designs, how he presents, how he really approaches the whole fashion scene. We, this season, are launching our first US designer collaboration with Jason Wu, which we're extremely excited about.
He also won the CFDA awards last year, and so we partnered with the CFDA to invite the winner designer every year to come with a collaboration, and Jason is our first. So really excited about that. Fashion is all about newness and innovation, and I think we need to bring new talents to create something new every time. Melissa is a very powerful Brazilian brand that has embraced America, and I think collaborating with American designers makes total sense.
plastic we use in our shoes is actually a proprietary technology called Melflex, which is our own PVC formulation that makes the shoe, of course, first non-toxic, and two, very malleable and soft to the touch. So that's how they mold your feet. That's why they go, oh my God, why are they so comfortable? The formulation we did makes the plastic be 100% recyclable. All the shoes come with a triangle number 3 on the bottom of the shoe. Whatever we don't sell, we recycle back. Everything that's left of production, excess inventory is recycled back into making new shoes for us. The smell.
Fruity, fruity, fruity.
The shoes all smell of tutti frutti. There's a secret formulation we created, very organic, with plants, fruits, and vegetables that we mix in the plastic while we're making the shoes to make them smell like that. So it's like going back to childhood memories. When you smell something that you like, you always remember, you smell it again, you just close your eyes and it brings you back to that smell. And that's what we want you to carry with you. You know, that idea of closing your eyes and remembering your Melissa shoes.
Good. Done?
Brian Atwood is definitely Hollywood handsome, but that's not why he's cobbler to the stars. In his Milan showroom, the American designer tells us why women love his sexy shoes.
She loves to have fun with it, and I think that's what really makes me love what I do, because I can just design and there are no barriers. And to see her in the shoes on the street, it's great, like a pink pair of pumps. Love it. These have been a favorite to everyone. Everyone who's come in has been calling for these shoes, the Madison shoe. When I start designing for any collection, I usually have a certain woman or type of style of woman, and this fall it was the supermodels of the early 80s, like a Gia, Lisa Taylor, Lauren Hutton. So that being in my head, I started creating a very feminine, sexy, or glamorous collection. This is your party bag and shoes, all in Swarovski crystal. This is the example of the 5.5 martini heel that you can see on here. And as you can see, the weight, once the body is proportioned, the weight is perfectly positioned under the heel.
Atwood has some advice for high heel virgins.
Practicing them before. If you've never worn them before, practice them. Don't be afraid. We're doing a lot of soft and unlined, scrunchy, soft, slouchy boots. And this is one of the ankle boots that, when worn, has a beautiful drape effect. I always love the hidden details, like the luxury. I don't always like it in your face. These are just really gorgeous thigh highs with the platform inside with the new martini heel. It's all about touching the fabric, touching the shoes. Touch, the sensation, the touch, everything about it. The design, everything. Inside when you're wearing it, outside, and just the whistles you get while you're wearing it down the street.
We are at the Ferragamo Museum, and we are in the basement of Palazzo Spiniferroni. And the museum is dedicated to the founder, to the story, to the life of the founder, Salvatore Ferragamo. We have a big collection, 10,000 shoes. The exhibition that we have at the moment is on shoes and color, because Ferragamo loved color. And in a period in the 20s when the other shoes were only brown or black, he made yellow, green, red shoes and multicolored shoes. It was a novelty because he wanted to have the shoes more than an accessory. It's an important part of the general look. Before, in the 20s, the 30s and 40s, each customer had the wooden last of the feet. Now we have conserved only this group dedicated to the famous people. So we have Ava Gardner, Rita Hayworth, the Duchess of the Windsor. One of the qualities that explained the success of Salvatore Ferragamo was surely the innovation in the design and especially in the construction. He wrote in his biography that he made in his life 400 different patents. Ferragamo was the inventor of the wedge. He invented the wedge in 1937 for a problem of construction. Ferragamo had the idea to use the cork, and he loved the wedge because the wedge finally gives the space to the designer for the creativity, because there is a big surface, and he made in different material, in different color together. In the collection of the museum, we have a lot of examples of shoes, original shoes made for famous people. And here are the Marilyn shoes. We have more than 14 pairs made for her. These are the shoes that she wore in the movie, Some Like It Hot, but she used the same model also during every day. This shoe was made for Madonna because the company continued to work with the star. The same model we have in another part of the museum, made in other material for Ava Gardner. Here we have probably the most famous shoes that he made, but this model was made for Judy Garland in 1938, and so there are different layers of cork covered in sweat. This group is very important, is the invisible shoe that immediately after the war, Ferragamo received the Neiman Marcus Award in 1947, and he made a special shoe. He made it invisible, and we have here a heel, sculpted heel, but in wood and covered in suede or kid and so on. But the upper is made in nylon threads for fishing. And here we have probably the richest model that we have in the collection is the gold shoes, 18 carats gold, that Ferragamo made for an Australian client in 1956. Here we have also the cage heel, and it's very beautiful because of the idea of the design of these shoes, very simple, but with a special heel. Yeah, Ferragamo, as each artist, used the same idea for a long period in a different ways. So the name of Ferragamo for artistic shoes was related with the name of a town that was famous in the world for art. And this is the story.